Okay, there we go. So again, this whole document that we're focusing on today is really a really great go-to document just to remind you of the basics in promoting the Fountain of Life. And so, as you can see here, it's my sort of my training I put together for any kind of lifestyle advisor or person in the company. Whether you're an advisor, promoter, or retailer, it doesn't really matter. This is a great training for all, not just new people, but also existing members as well too. So the first thing first is going to mute out a few other people here. Is number one, always establish as good of a relationship as you can. So I think the biggest mistake that I've seen people do when they're trying to go out there and promote, of course, and share Fountain of Life is they're a bit rushed. And so they're not taking the time to really understand what kind of a benefit can they provide or what kind of a problem can they solve for that person. And so just a really good thing to keep in mind is that we are in the mindset of building and maintaining long-term relationships. We're in a mindset of building and maintaining repeat business from customers. So not just that one-time sale, but ongoing repeat sales. And also we're in the mindset of first identifying how we can provide better value to someone. So if you have that kind of a mindset, you're going into your conversations in the right frame of mind. So again, rule number two is never rush. So take your time with building that relationship with your customer or client. It could be a family, it could be a friend, it doesn't really matter. Just take your time and whether you're building in person or on social media, online, texting, emailing, always just try to establish a good relationship first. Now, of course, sometimes it's not going to be easy if you're just talking to someone in passing at a coffee shop, maybe you're at some event, and it's a really sort of quick meet and greet, that's fine. But, throughout the process of you talking to people, always maintain that good like and trust. So today, I met up with a lady that actually at the last trade show I was at, she bought 2 bottles, and because she had migraines, she also had a thyroid issue, and she also had a niece that had really bad eczema. And so today, she was finally free after about 2 to 3 weeks since I last saw her, went for a coffee, a second cup, and literally the first hour and a half, I was just sitting there listening to her because she's going through so much personal things in her life, and I could tell she wanted to vent that stuff out. I was just being a very good ears for her, just listening to her as she went on about the things that she was passionate about. And of course, because I was a good listener, and when you listen to some people, you instantly build that rapport. They instantly like you a lot more. They trust you a lot more. And so, of course, now after an hour and a half, we started talking more about the products, and from that, it led to her now purchasing one of the night serums for her niece. And she even said that, if the night serum works for her niece's eczema, she's all in. And I already know that the night serum will work for eczema because we had so many cases. Every single person with eczema has had tremendous results with it. So, but again, my whole point here is that I took the time to talk to that person. Rule number 3, I think most people do already, is be a product of the product, meaning that you can't really promote a product if you're not using it. And so that's pretty common sense. Most people are taking the products already too. And the 4th rule in talking to people, because sometimes you're not really sure, do I talk about the business or do I talk about the products? And my suggestion always is, it's the safest to lead with the products. Because, unless you really have established good like and trust and build that rapport, and that person is looking for a business, even then, I would say, well, every business must have great products. Let me share with you what the products we have in the company. So either way, I always start with the products first, and I suggest that you do the same thing as well too. So, again, just a common mistake that I always hear is don't think about how people can benefit you. The right mindset is, how can I serve them and benefit them, instead of how can I serve myself, or what can, just going to close something here. Or what can they gain versus what can I gain? So make it always about your people. And so the whole sort of quote that most people have heard about is, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that sometimes, it's such a powerful statement, and yet people sometimes forget to do that. And I always find that, again, in any conversation with any prospect, if you wish to be successful at promoting your products, you must first establish a good relationship. So don't rush that part, because if you rush it, you've lost them for good. If you take your time to build that relationship up first, you will always have future conversations. I hope that makes sense. You'll always have future conversations if you build a proper relationship at first. So how do you build relationships? How do you know what questions to ask? And it's really just all about asking questions, let them talk, and you listen. And so we have an acronym that most companies use. It's called FORM. It stands for family or friends, occupation, recreation, and money. And so the whole key thing here is to find out their itch. And their itch, we don't mean physical itch, we just mean what is important to them. So what is important, again, to for them. And everyone has a different itch. It could be a combination of different things. So for some people, their itch could be they want to be in the fashion industry. They love fashion. They want to find something to do with fashion. For others, it could be they want to have better skin. They want to have better, they have issues with eczema or rosacea or acne, and their whole thing is they want to have better skin. I find that most people, most common itch of all is they want to be healthier. I think everyone just generally wants to be healthier, or they know someone else that has health issues. Protect their health, want more time and freedom. And it's not that everyone does want more time and more freedom, but it's a bit of a different sell when you're trying to sell time and freedom than trying to sell, healthy living. Time and freedom requires a lot of work, whereas buying a health product like Fountain of Life is simple. So even though everyone wants more time and more freedom, promoting the products might be a bit easier in some cases. Could be more time with the family, or more money, wants to travel more, make more money, pay less tax, be their own boss, want to work from home. So again, in having a conversation with someone, you can quickly sort of identify all of these things here. Now, sometimes some people are quiet, and what you can do is ask questions to bring up those conversations. One quick second here. I have to keep my voice nice and moisture here. So for family and friends, again, it could be, where are you from? What brought you to Toronto? What brought you to Taiwan? What brought you to the USA? And all these questions, there's a reason why you're asking the questions. Where are you from? If they're from Europe, now there's a possibility of doing a Europe expansion with the products. What brought you to Toronto? Be their friend, help them expand their network, because people who leave their country to go to another country, usually they come to a new country to find a better life or better opportunity. So now you know why they're here, right? Like, why did you come to Toronto? How's the family? If they have family, most people, are motivated to give their family healthy living and, of course, a better lifestyle. So all these things you can find out have a underlying purpose. Occupation, I always like to ask these three questions. What do you do for a living? Doesn't matter what the answer is. You ask them the second question, well, and how long have you been doing that for? Could be 1 month, could be 1 year, could be 10 years. It doesn't really matter. You ask them the third question, well, do you love what you do? And get to know what people's passions are in life. What drives them, in life. And you want to gather that information for yourself to know for later on. How long do you plan to do what you're doing for? Most people don't want to do their job forever. And one quick tip on how I do approach some people sometimes for the business side is, if I know that this person here, for example, is an employee at a Burger King, and just in chit-chatting with them, I would say, hey, out of curiosity, are you open for other opportunities, or are you happy doing what you're doing, working here? And so that question is a specific or question. It's hey, are you open for other opportunities to earn some extra income, or are you happy doing what you're doing here? And most people in their jobs aren't really happy doing what they're doing. So of the two options I gave to them, their default response would be, oh, I'm open for other opportunities. What do you have in mind? And then, of course, I start back with the products. And I said, well, I'm out of curiosity, do you take care of your health? Right? And that's how I kind of lead into the whole conversation talking about FOL. But you see how, again, the way that you phrase a question can give you the response that you're looking for. Okay, so a lot of little tidbits here of information. I'm just trying to rush this so we'll be done by 8 p.m. So have you ever thought about doing something else? Have you ever thought about what you would really enjoy doing? Like something that you're passionate about, right? So like different questions that you can ask. Recreation, what do you do for fun? Again, if you can find similar interests with the person you're talking to, that's always good. Because now you have a commonality, you have something in common, and that again builds more like and more trust. And so most people enjoy traveling. You talk about traveling here, traveling there, where you're planning on traveling in the future. So again, all these are different great ways to find out, to find some commonalities between all of you guys, right? So what are your hobbies? Now with money, it's a different topic as well too, which is, don't you hate paying taxes? So again, a lot of people out there, believe me, if they had a choice, they would not want to pay taxes. So again, this is more of the approach on the money side, which, in most cases, I don't even really need to ever go into asking these money questions, because my focus is really about the products, the health products, or the skincare line, right? So in building like and trust, what's going to happen is you usually get them asking you back a question, which is, well, what do you do for a living? Or what's new with you? How's it going with you, Renee? And this is where here's a script that you can follow. You don't have to go word by word, right, guys? The script here is just a guideline on how I bring up a conversation. So usually when they ask me, well, what do I do for a living? Well, my response is, well, out of curiosity, do you take care of your own health? And they might say yes. If they say no, I make a joke. I say, well, do you think you should start taking good care of your health? Right? So again, and they always say yes, because everyone knows they should start taking good care of their health. So again, you can ask a question always in your favor to always get the answer that you want in the way that you word the question. So again, well, do you think you should start taking good care of your health? Yes. Right? And so in short, once they say that, I actually sometimes just skip this part here. I go right down to this part here. I ask, well, do you know much about antioxidants? They say yes, great. Then they already know what it is. They say no. The way that I explain what an antioxidant is, I say, well, an antioxidant, do you know when you cut open an apple, what happens to the inside of the apple? And they say it turns brown. I say, yes, what's happening there is a process called oxidation. It's actually, slowly killing and tearing down the cells in the apple. And so oxidation happens to an apple. It creates rust on metals. Oxidation happens on the outside of us. It happens on the inside of us. So boom, within 20 seconds, I've explained to them now what an antioxidant is. It basically removes those free radicals that leads to all these bad diseases. And so, but what's more important here is I want to find out if they have anyone in their life that might have some kind of an issue. So I would then ask them, well, do you know anyone in your life who suffered from cancer perhaps, or stroke? And I actually pause after each one and let them answer yes, no, yes, right? Stroke, diabetes, heart disease, dementia, arthritis. How about Alzheimer's? They want to lose weight, any hair loss, has some body pains, always want more energy. And so in short, by going through this list, and you might not have to go through the entire list. Maybe they talked about something that's really passionate that they recently experienced themselves or with their family, and now you have a great conversation. So again, the whole point of this like and trust exercise with your prospects is to have a conversation, and there's no right or wrong conversation as long as you're following generally the guideline here. And so they might go on for 20 minutes talking about heart disease and how they've experienced that, or they know someone that's experienced that. Let them talk, right? So once they said yes to a few of these things, again, now you found that itch, right? You found that itch, because if they know someone that has, for example, diabetes, well, that's the itch. They must know someone that can help with that, right? So here's what I say. I say, well, my company has just come across this incredible technology, which is the world's most potent antioxidant known by scientists today, and it helps with, you fill in the blank. So if they had an issue with diabetes, I could say, well, there's a lot of people that have taken the product now and have reported amazing results for their diabetes. If it was, hair loss, I would say, well, there's a lot of people in the company that have experienced amazing benefits with their hair, because this helps with that. And so again, I'm trying to, the whole goal here, guys, is you want to match up. You want to match up, what is the person's itch with a real life example of someone that you know. So just pause really quickly here. What you want to do, and I suggest you do, is on your phone, or even print it out. But I go to the Facebook Fountain of Life page, and I go and screen capture different testimonials. There's all different kinds. On Facebook, you can actually go to the group chat, Fountain of Life official page, right? And in the very top, in the search bar, you can type in, for example, today, the person was talking about diabetes. So you can go and type in diabetes at the top, and a list of questions, so a list of people that have written testimonials about diabetes now appears on your list here. So what I do is I go to the actual testimonial of someone with diabetes, and I go and screen capture this. So on my phone, I have an album called Fountain of Life. And in this album, I have all the different stories that I know people might run into. So I have some stories about someone that has diabetes. I have stories of someone that was asking about heart disease or dementia, arthritis, inflammation pain, hair loss, body pain. So you want to build up a collection of stories that you have on standby, because the last thing you want to do is go to the page and try to search for it when you're with your prospect. If you already have it already saved on your phone, or you print it out into a nice little, so what you want to do is you want to go and buy yourself something like this. And what's in it is a collection of photos, right? So you put all the photos in here. And so what I suggest for everyone, all you have to need to do to sell Fountain of Life is just have two things. Have the bottles on hand with you, in your trunk, in your purse. Always have bottles, always, trust me, always have a few bottles on you, right? The second thing you have to have is just the picture testimonials. That's it, okay? Because again, as you're talking to people, asking them what they experience, if they're telling you, I know someone with diabetes, or I have diabetes, you can say, well, you know what? My company has come across this incredible technology, which is the world's most potent antioxidant on my scientists today, and it helps with that. And you show them the real life examples. Once you do that, I'm telling you, it's pretty much a done deal, because you found their itch, which is a problem. You provided the solution, and you provided the proof that it works. Now all it comes down to is the price of it, right? So, so again, the other thing that that I would suggest you have with you, aside from the bottles and your picture testimonials, is just have the Fountain of Life card. This card here. This card here, it just shows. So you can see the next paragraph of what I say here is directly related to this. I said, well, you know how apples are good for you? And they always say, yes. That, well, the scientists concluded you have to consume 1,800 cups of apples to have the same antioxidant lignans as 10 drops of the Fountain of Life. Okay, the same antioxidants in lignin form as the Fountain of Life. And do you know how green tea is good for you? Because everyone knows green tea is good for you, right? They say yes. So notice that I'm getting a lot of yeses now from the customer, right? Well, like Japanese people have lived the longest time because of their good diet with green tea. Well, you had to consume 50 cups of green tea to have the same antioxidants as 10 drops of the Fountain of Life. So again, notice that I'm always showing something to my prospects or my customers. If all you're doing is just talking, it gets tiring even for them to listen to so much stuff, right? That's why marketing materials, this plus the picture testimonials on your phone, you print them out in color, is the best way to keep things really lively, okay? And so, at that point in time, usually they're asking me, well, how much does it cost? They don't ask you, you tell them. You say, well, you know what? I used to take a lot of supplements, and it would cost me at least $150 to $200 per month in other companies to get my health products. Now with this product, you're going to be shocked because the retail cost is only $50 plus tax. $50 plus tax. And so, I also remind them that on top of that, this product has a 90-day money back, 90-day satisfaction guarantee. So it changes satisfaction guarantee, where if you're not happy with the products, you can exchange the product for anything else that the company carries. But the microsilver, night cream, day cream, eye serum for your wrinkles, whatever you want to do, right? So at that point in time, you've built like and trust. You have identified their itch, which is what's the problem you're trying to solve here. And you presented the solution, and you presented the proof, the documentation, the proof of people that have had benefits of taking the product for that issue, right? And so at this point in time, you can do a direct close or do a soft close. So a direct close might sound like, so there's nothing to lose but your good health. So let's help you place your order, and we take all major credit cards. I can help you place your order right now. A softer close might sound like, so I really think you should give it a try because it can really help you with your health, and of course to protect and preserve you for the long run. At that point in time, in most cases, I would say if you did a good job with like and trust, and money was not a huge issue, because $50 is not a lot, you've pretty much got a new customer. And so again, don't forget that when you set people up as new customers, don't forget that you can always do the smart buy, which means that you tell the person, well, if you go in an auto order, it's called a smart buy, after your third month, on the fourth month onwards, you get a 10% discount on all your orders. So now instead of paying $50 plus tax, it's only going to be $45 plus tax. And so it's an incentive to set up their smart buy, right? And so again, I hope I did a really good job with you guys, sharing with you really what I do to promote FOL. And it's actually really simple. You do it a few times, having conversations, and you have your testimonials, your photos ready with you. You have this one piece of card, right? You have the bottles on standby, and again, in order, like and trust, build that rapport. Find the itch, like what's that issue? And again, the itch you can do in the script that I just gave to you guys, right? Present the solution, present the proof, and that's it. So the last thing I do want to cover though, before closing up the call for the 8 p.m. Product Crossfire is, some people might look at some of the top earners' success and think, well, you're not really sure what they're doing on a daily basis. The way that I got to where I am today is by being relentless in sharing this. Well, we didn't have this back then, but I was relentless in sharing the previous products with people, no matter what it was. And I just feel that with this product, it's even easier because everyone wants to be healthy, right? So if you really think about this, every single person you bump into, or you might pass by, or you might have a quick few high kind of thing, could be an employee at the store. It could be someone serving you your coffee. Talk to everyone. What's the harm, right? What's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is you make them aware of a product that could really help them in their lives. And you never know, guys, right? Like, we never know what someone's going to say unless we approach them with this amazing product, right? And so again, whether I'm going through a drive-through for a coffee shop, I have these cards always in my car. I have a stack of these with my name at the back printed out, right? And so, for example, someone came to my house the other day to check my water quality of my house. And I'm meeting him tonight, 9:15 p.m. to go and talk more about FOL. So I went to go play badminton last Sunday, and we had some new people showing up. Again, I'm booking them for tours. Tomorrow I'm going to a networking event. It's called Second Canada China Biotech and Natural Product Summit Roundtable. It's like a whole day event. Gonna go there, meet a bunch of people, and just build good relationships, right? Wednesdays, I got meetings all day, morning and night, and I'm always trying to meet someone, right? And so I use Shapar, I use Meetup, I use Eventbrite. But most importantly, there's so many people out there in the world, and if you haven't looked at doing your first trade show, please do one. Look into your team. If someone's willing to also help you host, for example, a home party, a home gathering, do that. If you really think about this, there's so many venues and places where you can be promoting Fountain of Life. Just get out there and start to make a few phone calls, go to a few establishments, because there's so many different places I've seen people promoting Fountain of Life, in a restaurant, in a natural store, in a chiropractor business, in a just today, just someone who I added me on Facebook, and they actually are a massage therapist. Sell it in the store. It could be at a weekly a meeting of different kind of organizations. So there's just countless areas. And end of the day is, guys, it's a brand new market. And one thing that I learned in business is, if you don't talk to people around you, someone else eventually will. So it might as well as be you before someone else talks to them, right? So that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the training. It's a very, again, quick training. We do have the 8 p.m. product crossfire, where, again, I suggest you get on that call, because every single time I'm on that call, my belief goes to a whole new level. I learn a whole bunch of new things about the products. And again, the more that you can equip yourself with the knowledge of how Flawless and Fountain of Life can help other people, the more effective you'll be as well too in promoting and sharing this product, right? So all in all, folks, I just want to say thank you for joining the call tonight. It's going to stop the recording here, and I guess have some Q&A. But yeah, so let me stop the sharing, stop the recording really quickly. How do I stop the recording? Stop recording.